like seeing that fourth quarter and guys flipping the switches and doing what you guys were able to do in the fourth?
I mean, it was great. Obviously, we had momentum. I think we was getting stops and we were executing on our offensive end. It was great to be a part of. It was great to see us carry that momentum and keep our foot on the gas like we preached about from game one to game two. It was great to see the adjustment from us.
You had said, in terms of the finish of the last game, and you just mentioned defensive stops. I know people are going to see 40 points and go, okay, that's how they won that, but then you hold them to 26. So how big was the defense in that stretch?
That's what we were trying to do. We were just trying to make it tough, trying to get consecutive stops in a row. We talked about it, preached about it in timeouts. And for us to get the job done 2 quarters in a row, 23 points in the third, 24 in the fourth, 26 in the fourth, that's all we can ask for. Obviously, we know offensively we got to make plays and make shots, but if we can hold the team to 23 points in the quarter, I think we got a good chance of winning the game.
The last thing I had was you obviously started hot in game one and then came out again, game two, knocking down threes. Just how did that feel? Because you had said you hit the reset button after the last series and now you got it going right now.
Yeah, we're just trusting each other, trusting the work that we put in. And obviously we feel like we have what it takes. We have the recipe. We just got to go out and do it. And it's just a matter of that. I think sometimes we overcomplicate things, but it's very simple. It's very simple. We lean on one another, play with one another, and we can win the game at any time. So we just had to reset, and we're looking pretty good right now. We got to lock in as we take these guys on the road.
Jay, with the first half being the way that it was, how'd you like the team's composure to just hang there in the second half, make a few adjustments, and not lose your cool?
We've been there before. We was talking about it. We've been here before. Obviously, we felt like we had a bad second quarter. They did a lot of good things with turning us over, getting stops, and making shots. They made a lot of shots. So we just kept preaching that we've been here before. We weathered the storm, got to halftime, reset a little bit, talked it out, and came out and executed quarters 3 and 4. So it was great.
From Cam and Biz on switches to Mikal fighting through screens, how'd you like the overall effort on Doncic to make it tough on him?
I think we gave him a lot of different looks. We tried not to let him get comfortable. Obviously, once he get comfortable, he can really light it up. So we just try to give him a lot of different looks. And Busy did a great job of coming in and being able to play multiple coverages. Obviously, Kills the head of the snake with him, so he did a great job on him all night, making it tough. But we just try to make him off balance a little bit, let him not see the same coverages.
In terms of making a guy like that work, how important is it to run him through a lot of actions and make him work on the defensive end as well?
Well, yeah, he played like 44 minutes in game one. We talked about that. If you're going to be out there that long, we obviously feel like we got to make him work even more and not be able to shoot 40 shots a night and maybe get that number down a little bit. So I think tonight we just did a good job of just fluently running into stuff on that end of the court. I think defensively, just like I said, giving him multiple different looks to try to keep him off balance.
And then with Chris, you've been in this league for a while. You've seen him do this before, but what are you seeing as far as the way that he's able to kind of calculate, okay, this is the mismatch I want, or this is the spot I want?
What's amazing is like it feels like for the first 2 quarters, he's like relaxed, he's chilling. He's not too aggressive. He's just reading the game. And then he has like a switch where he just turns it on. He sees how they're defending him. He sees what's on the backside. He sees how the different coverages they're throwing at him, and he just attacks it. I think that's probably just from him playing so many different games, seeing so many different coverages, seeing how guys guard and defend him in so many different ways, and then he attacks it. He's just doing what he does, and we wrote him out in the fourth quarter.
Jay, the few guys now have said that you guys have been through that chaos with the fouls and whatever. You've seen situations like that before. Is there a game, maybe last year's playoffs or anything that you guys were talking about or thinking of where you were like, this was just like that moment and we...
About the fouls?
Yeah, with just the inability to get the rhythm.
Well, you remember the closeout game in New Orleans, we had a bad second quarter. So we were talking about that. We've been here before, and we overcame that situation. So we felt like it was sort of that type of situation. It was just, they was on the run. We're trying to stop the bleeding, but you know what I'm saying? But we got to continue to play basketball and play within our system, and we just weathered the storm. I think that's what good teams do. You just try to find a way to break that run that the other team is going on and respond to it. We always talk about responding to the run. Basketball is a game of runs, and I think once we got it under control a little bit, got our fouling under control and taking care of the ball, we were able to go into the halftime feeling a little better about ourselves.
And then just 2 games in with the defense, big picture, they were coming off a series where I'm sure they were feeling pretty good, pretty in rhythm. They score the ball well. What's been the key, do you think, just to kind of slowing them down overall?
Well, first you got to accept the challenge. They have a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket, and they try to get mismatches and stuff like that. I think we talked about it before coming into this series. You got to accept the challenge of guarding these guys and making it tough as possible. If they're going to make shots, you can't hang your head. You just got to continue to play with force on both ends of the court and make them feel you. So I think we're doing a good job right now, but just accepting the challenge and trying to make these guys score through us and over us, and not give them anything easy.
You know, the first two halves of the past two games, you had the hot hand, and so you found your shooting rhythm. But it seems like the second half you switched onto maybe creating opportunities for other guys, rebounding, assists, and dribble penetration. Is it a conscious effort to basically keep your rhythm at the first half and make the switch?
I'm just really reading the game, playing the game however it folds. I mean, first half I felt like it was a few open shots that I took and was able to make, but I think I'm just reading the game. I'm a basketball player. I don't want to be labeled just a shooter. I tell you guys that all the time. I'm a basketball player. I can make plays or I can shoot the ball. But tonight, it was just pretty much playmaking. Well, second half was a lot of playmaking and a lot of making extra plays, making the right plays. I think you see Chris and Book getting two bodies, and sometimes in the full rotation on the backside, you got to make plays. You got to either swing, shoot, or do something quick. We talk about 0.5 basketball all the time, and I think they're putting us in a lot of those situations. We're just trying to capitalize on them. Me, Mikal, Cam, anybody other than Chris and Book, we're just trying to make plays. And I think that grows our team. It helps us like being able to attack defenses like a lot of different ways. I feel like when we're be aggressive, it opens up a lot of stuff for everybody. So we got to keep doing it.
Jay, you mentioned something after practice the other day about, what you really enjoy about the playoffs is it's not always about scheme. Sometimes it's also that mano-a-mano.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to stopping someone like Doncic, how does that change from the regular season to the playoffs? Like, how would you kind of explain the shift when it comes to a series like this?
I think you attack the scouting report a little differently. I think you hone into what the opposing team is trying to do at a high level. I think you just try to take them out of what they're used to doing and what they're accustomed to doing. In the playoffs, you're able to dissect that and try to take it away. I think that's the difference. Obviously, the effort is there. It's playoffs, but at the same time, I told you the scheme is both teams know what each other is doing. It comes down to the guy in front of the ball, making a play. I think that's what I love about the playoffs. And like I said to you earlier this week, I love that about the playoffs because it's really mano-a-mano.
Jay, how important is it when they double Devin on the post when the ball swings and knocking down a shot to make them go, okay, we need to rethink that strategy because they're getting open shots?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. When those guys, respectively, our scorers get double teamed, we got to be aggressive out of the double team to keep the defense true, keep the defense honest. I think tonight we did a good job of that. Obviously, sometimes teams just hit double team Book high, and we have something set for that. Every time we got to make plays though out of it. We just can't rely on those guys to create shots for us or create shots for themselves. So we're doing a good job of that. Last year in the playoffs, we grew with that, and we continue to talk about it and grow with it. But that's part of being in the playoffs. It's just making plays out of the double team when those guys get doubled. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.